Hey, friends. So, as we are dealing with this pandemic, this virus crisis that we have going on, I started thinking about the disconnect, the social distancing, not feeling like we're in community together. And I thought, what can we do to change that? And I kept thinking, man, I would love to be able to gather around a campfire with my friends and just talk about stories and reminisce and how we got where we are and all that fun stuff that you can laugh and talk about. And so I thought, well, why don't we do campfire stories, but make them fireside stories? So I wanted to come on today to start this, see if I can get anyone else encouraged in doing it. Let us learn a little bit more about each other and just feel like we're a little more connected. So I wanted to tell my story about how I got into real estate. So my fireside story is my journey into real estate. And I'm not going to go into complete detail on this, but I will tell you that it's been a very emotional ride leading up to this amazing career that I now have. And it's definitely been something that has been challenging, but also has allowed me to change a lot of things in my life from a financial perspective, from a mindset perspective, a lot of things. And I am so blessed that this career has become available to me. And so I just wanted to share my story. So many of you know that I spent a number of years in the financial industry and I became licensed as a financial advisor. My previous career before real estate, I was working at a financial office as an associate financial advisor where I supported the primary advisor, the senior advisor at the office. And that was an incredibly rewarding career. I learned so much and it was really good. However, there was something missing. It just didn't seem to be the right fit for me. I always felt like I was fighting to make that work. So one day I turned on the news, the local news, and they were talking about how great the real estate market is and that, a lot of people are doing very well financially on investment properties. And I thought, Josh has so many talents and skills and I should really be leveraging those. So I talked to him. I said, hey, we need to start investing in real estate and flipping homes. And he kind of laughed at me because at the time we didn't really have any money to do that. And so I took on the challenge. And we bought our first house in Beverly Hills, leveraged some assets, and bought a house for $24,000, a block home. That was in 2015. It was a great house, awesome house. And the funny thing is, when I walked into the house, we looked at it initially, I said, oh my gosh, I would never buy this house. And I pretty much walked in and walked right back out. Meanwhile, Josh walked around and we reconvened and he said, there is so much we can do with this house. This is the greatest house. And one of the things did not need a new roof. It had fairly new windows, upgraded windows, which was unusual for the community that it was in. So some big ticket items were taken care of. We're going to have to do HVAC, which is fine, and then a lot of remodeling. But this thing was a lot of work and a huge transformation, but incredibly rewarding. Also allowed us to teach our son some skills that he otherwise wouldn't have been, wouldn't have learned, wouldn't have had the opportunity for. So it was a really great thing. So as we were doing this investment property, Josh said to me, you really need to get your real estate license because if we continue to do this, you should be selling the houses. And I kind of laughed at him. I said, I have so many licenses between insurance, financial, on and on and on. I don't need or want another license. And so he kind of left it alone. But of course, I kept hearing him in the back of my head. I've always loved real estate. And I said, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get my license. So I did. I was in the process of the course, and some things happened at my office. And the door kind of swung wide open and said, hey, maybe you want to go into real estate full time. Didn't have the license yet, was just getting ready to sit for my state exam. And that sort of just happened. So took the test, got licensed, and I guess the rest is kind of history. It's been amazing. It has been a very rewarding career, and I feel like finally I am in the right place. I'm happy with what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. I enjoy it. It's I can't even describe how helpful it is. Now, the other thing I wanted to share about this is the main reason that I felt like Josh and I needed to add something more to our plates and invest in real estate was because we were, I like to say victims. I don't know if that's really the right word, but we were part of the mortgage mess that happened in the housing boom. And we bought our house in December of 2006 in Pine Ridge, and we ended up, unbeknownst to us until closing, we ended up with a variable rate mortgage. And we had to do a second mortgage as well in order to buy the house. And not the best financial moves, but that's what we did at the time. We really felt that this was the right place for us. And it, for the next 10 years, it was a strain, a financial strain, and also a burden knowing that I had a second mortgage that was coming due, a balloon that was going to come due in a few years for $50,000, and I needed to pay down about $75,000 of the mortgage total in order to refinance and take advantage of good rates and not have the adjustable rate mortgage that we had. So the houses that we flipped from 2015 until the end of 2018 allowed us to achieve that goal. And I don't know that we would have achieved that otherwise. So real estate has been such a blessing to me, and by the grace of God, I have been given this opportunity. And so I just wanted to share that story. I would love to hear other people's stories about how you got to where you are, or what you're doing, why you love your career, anything that you're inspired to talk about. And I just think that would be a fun way to break through the boredom of the time while we're sitting around our homes. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope to see some other videos here, and let's chat soon.